Nicole, when was the last time you actually listened to your gut?
I always do, because nutrition in midlife is so important. And we know that there's a lot of misleading health advice out there. And most of what we're taught about food is wrong. Did you know that Big Food even pays TikTok influencers to say that ultra-processed foods are healthy when they're not?
I actually find that shocking, but it's no wonder that 1 in 8 people globally, that's over 1 billion people, are living with obesity.
So our sponsor Zoe understands that our health is suffering and that it's time we listened to our gut.
They make your gut health their business. And as we've learned in over 5 years of doing podcasts, gut health is key to overall health.
Your Zoe membership starts by testing your gut health, and it's backed by one of the world's largest microbiome databases and most scientifically advanced at-home gut health tests. Zoe gives you proven science whenever you need it.
Listen, we know better than anyone else, being in the self-care space, that the start of every new year is noisy with loads of health advice that's often full of hot air and rubbish. But Zoe is the solution that you can trust.
Zoe is the science and nutrition company leading a movement to transform the health of millions. And Zoe membership has been proven by a randomized controlled trial, giving you the solutions to listen to your gut, make smarter food choices, and change your health for life.
Go to Zoe.com and find out what Zoe membership could do for you. And because you listen to 40ish, you can use the exclusive code 40ish10 to get 10% off membership. As a Zoe member, you'll get an at-home test kit and personalised nutrition programme to help you make smarter food choices that support your gut. That's Zoe.com. Use code 40ish10 at checkout. Trust your gut. Trust Zoe.
When you think about super successful businesses that are selling through the roof like Heinz or Mattel, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and brilliant marketing. But there's a secret. The business behind the business, making selling simple for them and buying simple for their customers. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout as Heinz and Mattel. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/promo, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/promo to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/promo.
Good night, itchy eyes. Good night, sudden sneeze. Good night to your symptoms of allergies. Zysol is the allergy medicine you take before bed. It provides powerful relief while you rest your head. Not just all night, but all the next day. Zysol keeps working, keeping allergies at bay. And without those annoying symptoms disturbing your rest, you can wake up the next morning feeling your absolute best. Remember, be wise all. Take Zysol. At night.
This episode is sponsored by Zoe. It is. Why are you laughing? That swimwear's amazing. You're not fully invested. You've still got a tinge of embarrassment about liking M&S. I am there. Their activewear is great. It's great.
It's great for people that, how would you're not active. With a martini, it works. Without, it feels a little tragic.
So basically, if you're borderline alcoholic and you've got earrings on, you can wear a house coat.
Yeah.
Otherwise, no.
Yeah.
Is that the rule?
This feels a bit more fabulous.
Wow, we've actually given proper advice today. Go us.
We actually have.
Wow, go us.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to 40ish. I'm Nicole Goodman.
And I'm Laura Mishcon.
This is the podcast that navigates the challenges and absurdities of 40-something life. Every episode, we discuss your problems, issues, rants that you have kindly shared with us. And we also divulge some of our own stories about the problems and mess of navigating midlife. I think I'm either getting older.
Well, you are.
Or
every day. Yep.
I'm either getting older or M&S have changed their designers. Because I actually like things in M&S now. I actually like things in M&S.
Well,
and I remember years ago when someone said to me, when are we ever going to like things that are in M&S? And now I find myself liking things that are in M&S.
Can I tell you something? St. Michael, which was the old M&S branding when we were kids, that shit on Vinted now is like top dollar. It's
no.
Yes. Oh, yes. To
Yes,
get
oh, yes.
yourself a St. Michael blazer.
Yeah. What are we talking?
Well, they're not like mega expensive, but they are really prized.
You said top dollar.
They're prized. Prized.
Have you got one?
Cool. No.
Who said they're cool?
I was reading a whole article on Stuff on Vinted and M&S. I agree with you, by the way. I've been back into M&S. Like when you were a kid and your mum took you to M&S for clothes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was fucking tragic.
It was hideous.
It was like being taken to
Yeah.
CNA.
Yeah.
It was like, no, mum,
Yeah.
please, not M&S
Yeah, please
jeans.
not M&S.
Please
Yeah,
stop.
no, it washes well. It washes
Yes,
well.
they're very good quality,
Yeah.
good price.
Yeah.
No, mum,
Fucking
please,
wash
can
well.
we go to Miss Selfridge, please,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Topshop? Anyway,
Yeah,
no,
please
M&S.
don't make me wear that. Yeah.
My mum was way too cool for M&S. You wouldn't catch my mum dead in M&S. My mum was wearing, you would have loved my mum in the 80s. Jackie's 80s stylings. She had a strapless denim mini dress with studs.
I could wear that now, not mini.
You would totally wear it. She had a pink, also strapless, bubblegum dress with like what do you call the what do you call the
No
top?
one cares.
It was fucking fun. She rocked it.
No one gives a shit
So rude.
about Jackie's
In
wardrobe.
the 80s, she never wore M&S. That's my point.
Okay.
Right? I have found in recent years, I'm loving M&S. I'm all over it, but not the shoes. But
I mean,
not
I'm
the
just interested
shoes.
to know what point
Yeah.
was Jackie's wardrobe going to stop if I hadn't stopped it? How far would we have gone
I
into
would have
Jackie's
gone
wardrobe?
all the way down the walk-in wardrobe from business suits, which she did wear, from Hobbs.
Reverse.
Can I just put a caveat on the M&S? What the fuck is wrong with the M&S shoes? This is my issue. I say it to my friend all the time. It's like they take a shoe, they design a shoe, and then they say, let's do something that makes it 2% off being a nice shoe. How can we mildly fuck this design so that you think it's a good boot, but actually the heel's just like slightly wrong and it looks really square? I know. Let's make another range called Foot Glove that you can only wear if you're 60 plus with bunions. Please sort out the shoe designers.
What's Foot Glove?
It's like comfy, the comfy shoe bit for old people with bunions. Please.
Can I just say,
Sort out the shoes, man.
I had a very it was just very short and anecdotal about me starting to like things in M&S.
Well, you're right, because it's cool now.
What calm down.
I'm very activated about this. No one has addressed the shoe situation in M&S.
What is abundantly clear now is that you spend more time in M&S than I do.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And on that website,
You
try and get yourself the scalloped swimsuit now in February.
You've got one.
Yeah, but I want it in another colour. It's already sold out because it's that good. It is. Why are you laughing? Their swimwear's amazing. You're not fully invested. You've still got a tinge of embarrassment about liking M&S. I am there.
Because it was, my 40-ish thing. It was my 40-ish thing.
Yeah.
And
we're 40-ish.
As it turns out, you're a fan, like a big fan. Big fan.
You have to be discerning.
You do. Are you?
This isn't from M&S.
I know it's from Henny's. We bought them together.
Yes, I am discerning. I'm not really a fan of the Pona.
Oh, you're not allowed to say Henny's anymore.
No.
My kids always like, what's Henny's?
Henny's? What's Henny's?
H&M. Why did you just say H&M? Because before
it's
it used to be Henny's.
And it used
Henny's
to be
are more
Marathon.
Ritz.
It was never a Snickers. Jesus. What are you enjoying in M&S?
I haven't bought anything from M&S.
How do you even know you like it?
Because my sister bought a pair of leopard print jeans in M&S. And
The wide legs?
funnily enough, James just came in and told us that his wife had bought the same pair.
Are they the leopard wide legs?
Yes.
They have gone viral, do you know? And they're sold out in most sizes. And I actually tried them on. I tried them on. They were absolutely awful. They were awful.
Are you CMO for M&S?
I wish. I would die to be sponsored by M&S.
You have a lot of information at your fingertips ready to go about M&S.
Well, I would love to know why they look so great on your sister, because they look absolutely terrible on me. I must be a different shape.
I put them on.
And?
Not great.
Awful.
Also, right, they were a size 10.
Yeah.
and they were very tight on me. And I wear, in Zara, I'm in a size 8. So like their sizing is small.
Well,
I would have had to have upsized with that.
Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's absolutely huge. It really depends.
Oh, so the sizing's off.
The sizing's always off in M&S.
I'm shocked.
Are you?
Well, because I'm going back to the days when my mum said, oh, it washes well.
Yeah.
You'd think the sizing would be on point.
It's not. And normally it skews very large, I've found.
Oh, God, don't say that.
Sorry, it might not in the jeans. I couldn't fit in either of my normal sizes because one was like huge, one was like small. It just was it was the worst pair of jeans for me personally. Their activewear is great. It's great.
Which it's great for people that, how would you're not active.
Okay, it's good for athleisure. If you just want the athleisure look,
Don't start bringing your activewear recommendations over this way,
I don't
mate.
know how it copes with a squat, but I'm just saying, if you want to walk around your local high street and get a coffee, it's great. It's breathable. I can walk in it. It's great.
Before we dive into your dilemmas, we've got a quick disclaimer.
Oh yeah, that.
We are not doctors, we're not healthcare professionals. This is a fun space where we share our thoughts. And if there is an issue that you are seriously struggling with, please contact a qualified expert.
What's our first dilemma today?
It goes like this. We met another couple recently at dinner through some mutual friends. We've hung out with them a few times at various parties and at barbecues, and we're all going on holiday as 3 sets of families this Easter.
Lovely.
It was only when chatting to the wife at the last party and recalling our university days that I realised I had, in fact, slept with her husband. Oh dear.
Oh.
When we were both at the same uni. How could she not realise this?
I don't know.
That's... How many people has she slept with? We were both clubbers. Okay. And it happened a few times that she didn't realise. Always when we were off our heads after a big night.
Okay.
He looks completely different now. He was a much skinnier guy back then with long shoulder-length hair. He's now bald, a lot heavier, and wears glasses.
Okay. Time hasn't been kind by the sounds of it.
But you would know. Wouldn't you know?
I don't know. Go on.
He has said absolutely nothing about it and has never let on that I am familiar to him. But I can't believe he doesn't remember me. Mate, you didn't remember him! I feel like we have hung out too many times now to be able to just get it out in the open and have a laugh about it. I feel so awkward because it now feels like this awful, dirty secret between us. What should I do?
Oh, good one.
It is a good one, but it's also hideous. It's hideous.
Right. Well, there are 2 options. He either genuinely doesn't remember you or the fact that he slept with you, or
that's awful, by the way. And also, how different does she look? Does she look so different?
Yeah, maybe. Or he totally does remember, but he has decided, well, she hasn't mentioned it. I'm surely not going to fucking mention it and cause trouble, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut. So either you both keep your mouths shut and just pretend this never, ever, ever, ever happened.
She can't pretend it never happened. It did happen.
Okay, so how do you address this now? Now it's like been months and months. Now they're all going on holiday together. You wait until you're like round the table in Spain and mention it at dinner?
It's completely inappropriate to mention it at all.
So
you're just going to have to live with the dirty secret. It's completely inappropriate. How's it ever going to come up in conversation? Oh yes, by the way, do you remember when we slept together a few times?
Or do you think like maybe when they're away together and no one else is around, she could say to him, do you remember me from uni?
Because then you're having like this intimate conversation that you shouldn't be having.
But then at least she'd know if he really did remember her or didn't.
But there's no good way. There's no good answer. Because if he says, yeah, I do, then they've now got this dirty little secret. And if he says, sorry, who are you? That's just hideous.
Yeah. It's like that episode of Sex and the City when Carrie, you know, when they're talking about abortions, Miranda's going to get an abortion, but then doesn't. And Carrie's like, I once had an abortion. I got pregnant with this waiter. And she goes back to the restaurant. And he's still there.
Still there.
She's like, hi. And he has no clue.
No idea.
Who she was.
Yeah.
And it was like this huge thing in her life. And to him, he doesn't even recognise her.
Have you ever had anything like this?
No.
Of this ilk?
No.
Funnily enough, not to this degree. This happened actually recently, right? We were on holiday recently.
Yeah.
And there were people there that we knew on holiday. Anyway, I was talking to a friend of mine last week or whatever, and I was mentioning who was on holiday.
Yeah.
And she said to me, oh, God, do you remember that night that we all went out and then you snogged him, then you this and you that? I said, I didn't snog him. She goes, yes, you did, many times. I said, I actually don't know what you're talking about. She said, you don't remember? I'm like, I don't remember at all. And thank God I don't remember because I've just been on holiday with him.
Yeah, that would have been very embarrassing.
Yeah, but it was just a snog.
But he didn't remember. Well, you don't know if you remember because he didn't mention it to you.
And I think that's appropriate.
I agree.
Because I really didn't remember.
I think it's like the ship has sailed.
And also, you know, I was single for many years before my husband.
Yes.
So there are going to be people that I snogged.
Yeah.
Or had a fling with.
Yeah.
It happens.
I think the ship has sailed on this. I think you just have to take this to your grave. Or not be friends with them anymore. I don't know.
Would you mention it to your husband?
No. Not now.
Well, I've told you the story of what happened with the gardener. I've said that on here before. And then I had to tell my husband.
Yeah. But you had to. Listen, if she'd recognised him the first time she met him, then she could have said to her husband, oh my God, I slept with him a few times at university. Who cares?
No. The husband would care.
Oh, come on. It's decades ago.
I'm sorry, I would care. I'm not saying in a jealous way, but it would like kind of put me off them.
But if they said it
if I knew that she'd slept with my husband.
If they said it now after having been friends and planning a holiday together.
No, it sounds like they've got this dirty little secret.
Exactly. You got to take this to your grave, my dear. I'm sorry to tell you. But
you don't need to be sorry. You actually don't need to be sorry.
I'm sorry for her that she's in this situation because it's an unfortunate course of events that's led her to this dilemma. But here she is.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm pleased I didn't remember that I'd snogged him.
Yeah.
Not that it would have been awkward because I hadn't seen him for 20 years.
Yeah, exactly.
So who cares?
Who cares? Either breeze it through. Your choices are breeze it through at some point when everyone's a little bit loose on holiday.
I don't think that's a good idea. That is a terrible idea. That is terrible advice.
Or keep them.
Pretend it never happened. Lauren, you know me, and you know when it comes to answering the listeners' dilemmas and when it comes to food, I always trust my gut. And I also trust Zoe, the leading science and nutrition company.
All the nutritionists that we've spoken to on Self-Care Club have highlighted just how much misleading information is out there when it comes to food. Things like the claims that you see on packaging that say things like low sugar or nothing artificial. These are often a sign to actually avoid these foods. Ever noticed a health claim on fresh fruit?
No, never.
Right, well, you get my point.
So it's completely understandable why there's so much distrust and wondering who you should turn to for accurate information.
Well, it's very simple. It's not a dilemma for us. We use Zoe.
Backed by one of the world's largest microbiome databases and most scientifically advanced at-home gut health tests, Zoe gives you proven science whenever you need it.
Go to Zoe.com and find out what Zoe membership could do for you. And because you listen to 40ish, you can use the exclusive code 40ish10 at checkout to get 10% off membership. As a Zoe member, you'll get an at-home test kit and personalised nutrition program to help you make smarter food choices that support your gut. That's Zoe.com. Use code 40ish10 at checkout. Trust your gut. Trust Zoe.
This episode is brought to you by Prime Video. In the small town of Holland, Michigan, nothing is ever what it seems. Behind the tulip festivals and pretty houses lay dark secrets that threaten to tear a marriage apart. Nicole Kidman stars in this darkly twisted thriller about a wife and mother whose quest to uncover her husband's secrets may get her more than she bargained for. Holland, streaming on Prime Video March 27th.
Uh-oh, the last cookie.
You can get a new box of cookies in as fast as an hour with Walmart Express Delivery.
Are you my guilty self-conscience?
No, I'm the voice offering you promo code EXPRESS for free delivery on your first order.
Hey, who ate my cookies?
You mean, these cookies?
Order now. Welcome to your Walmart. Promotion valid for first express delivery order. $50 minimum subject to availability. Restrictions apply.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place. For changes big and small. Loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Lauren said, in a funny way, oh, I'm going to go home now and stick on my tracksuit because her son is at home unwell. And she said it in a way that like mocked herself. And I said, well, I always go home and put on a tracksuit.
Yeah, but I don't. I don't do that. Whatever, if I'm dressed for the day, like I'm in leopard print jeans today and a dangly necklace and a sweater.
But even if you get home at 4:00 and then you're home all night and all afternoon, you would still be in your dangly necklace and your leopard print jeans.
100%.
I would never, I would always change into a tracksuit.
I just get undressed for bed, end of story.
No.
I would never get changed.
And I go through about 4 outfits a day.
Who can be bothered?
Well, I don't want to stand in jeans cooking and that shit.
No.
Anyway, then you said, what did you say?
Then I said, like, do you remember house coats? Did your grandma ever have a house coat? So I was thinking when I used to go home with my grandma, she would get out of her fabulous suit, whatever she was wearing, and put on her house coat.
Yeah.
And a house coat, if you're not 85
and
don't know about these things, is basically a dressing gown, but instead of a tie robe, it's basically a dressing gown with a full-length zip from chin to floor.
Is this what we're doing now? Is this where we're moving towards?
Well, I'm just thinking about how comfortable and useful that item was.
You're starting to understand the practicalities of a house coat.
She had many.
Right.
She had them in velour, velvety ones, all different patterns, all different colours. She had like a definite 70s orange and black swirly one.
You know you can get house coats on Amazon.
I did not know this.
Yes. You could have it delivered on Prime by tomorrow.
How would you feel if you came round to my house and I was in, let's say for the sake of argument, a hot pink house coat?
Why is hot pink?
I just feel like I'd go
give it a bit of glamour.
Yeah.
I think I would feel not shocked by it. I wouldn't be shocked.
Do you think I could pull it off? With earrings?
Unfortunately, yes. You could pull it off in a very middle-aged way. I'm not saying you'd look great. I'm just saying it would be... I wouldn't be floored with shock that you were in a house coat now. If you then start with the knitting, then we're going to have a problem.
I'm terrible at knitting. I've tried that before. I'm awful. What I'm saying is, no, you've got to rebrand it. Imagine me in the house coat, but combined with big earrings and a martini. How are you feeling about it now?
Oh,
how are you feeling about that?
I'm all here for that. Now, then you're like Patricia from Southern Charm. You don't know her. She's fabulous.
I'm not talking about giving up on life house coat. I'm talking about comfort glamour. Comfort/glamour.
What about like a caftan then?
Fucking love a caftan.
Yeah.
But really only wear those on the beach.
With a martini, it works. Without, it feels a little tragic.
So basically, if you're borderline alcoholic and you've got earrings on, you can wear a house coat. Yeah. Otherwise, no.
Yeah.
Is that the rule?
This feels a bit more fabulous.
Yeah.
Than without.
I'm feeling like house coat fabulous.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm sorry to say you've sown a seed. Now you've told me that Amazon hack.
She's so going to get. It's not a hack. Amazon is not a hack. Oh my God.
Because you know Karl Lagerfeld said that if you wear sweatpants, people who wear sweatpants have given up on life. And so
he's right.
Whenever I wear my tracksuit, which is every single morning when I get up to make breakfast for the children and walk the dog, Ollie always says to me, oh.
For the children, you have a 21-year-old who doesn't live at home and a 19-year-old who is a very self-sufficient.
I still fill up the water bottles and get the cereal out and feed the dog, and I do these things in my tracksuit. And often Ollie will say to me, oh, have you given up on life? And I think it's not the most glamorous look for him to see me in, but maybe a house coat. That could be more appealing. No, you're shaking your head.
No.
Shaking your head.
No, I know it's happening, and I know I'm coming round next week, and the house coat is going to be present with us. And I have a feeling you're even going to get me one. And you know what? I might even enjoy it. What's going on with you?
I also went to a show, the show that I mentioned last week that we missed because it was the wrong date for the tickets.
Oh, yeah.
So we saw the show.
Yep.
It was about a thruple. A thruple. Do you know what this is?
I have a WhatsApp group called Thruple.
Interesting.
Yep.
Say more.
You are not on it.
I know that.
No, I'm just telling you. So yes, I know what a throuple
Who's
is.
in your throuple?
2 other people.
Who?
Gym friends.
Oh, gym friends.
Yeah, I have
I
gym
see.
friends. I have gym friends.
I don't want to be in a throuple with you anyway. I like it to be monogamous between us.
Wouldn't you be so fucked? Anyway, you, me and James are in a throuple. What are you talking
we
about? We're in a
actually
really weird
totally-
codependent throuple.
We are. It's so true. James loves our throuple.
He loves our throuple.
So this play is about a couple our age, been married, similar time to us, and their sex life is stagnating. And she meets a woman, and she starts talking about whether they should form a throuple. Anyway, long story short.
But the thing is, hold on a second. Would have to.
Yeah.
I
It would be a very short play.
Yeah.
Do you want to form a throuple?
No.
Curtain. And scene.
How would you even in real life get I meet many women, but I don't ever think, oh, should I start a throuple?
Well, they sort of went for some drinks, and the woman, the married woman, made it quite clear that she was interested, but she also said to the single woman, I am very much married. I very much love my husband. I'm not interested in lies or deception. I don't want to have an affair, but I really like you. And the only way I could see this working is if you were interested in both of us together. And she was
That's a little bit far-fetched,
she was a millennial. And that's why the play is called The Unicorn, because the amount of single women who are interested in being in a throuple with a married couple is few and far between, as rare as a unicorn, hence why they're called unicorns. But she was interested, and they did. Anyway, that was the play. And all I kept thinking was, oh my God, managing one husband singular.
Yeah.
That is enough.
Yeah.
And on the tube on the way home, I said to Ollie, can you imagine? I've got me, I've got you in bed snoring, and then I've got some woman also in bed who is getting up to do imagine if it's you, for the sake of argument, 4 times a night, getting up to do a wee.
How very dare you?
Coming back to bed.
That's actually rude.
How many times do you get up in the night
Once.
to wee? Okay, once. That would wake me.
At 3:20 every night.
Okay, he would
Like
be getting
clockwork.
up. So he'd be getting up to wee, you'd be getting up to wee.
Yeah.
That would disturb me. He would be snoring, then you would get up early to do your gym thing. It would be...
Yeah, but you know what? You'd also have someone else who's emptying the dishwasher. Right?
I don't know if they lived together. They didn't live together. They just were in a relationship. She wasn't living in the house. But the whole thing, I was like, this is just... And then...
How are you going to explain that to your kids?
I don't know how they explained it to kids. That wasn't part of the play. But then I'm thinking, let's say that your husband really annoys the other throuple. You've then got someone else moaning to you about your husband. Who needs that shit? Who needs it? No one needs it. It's a hiding to nowhere, the whole throuple business.
I guess it depends on the sex.
It
does.
It's never going to be good enough to warrant all of that nonsense.
Well, you don't know. You don't know. You don't know.
We talked it through on the tube on the way home.
Yeah.
I was like, this is problematic for me. I don't want to have sex with a woman, and I certainly don't want an extra...
Yeah, but you could have a throuple with another man.
Well, and he said, but I don't want to have sex with another man. And I was like, yup, point taken. It's not for us.
I'm glad you had to go and see the play to figure out whether it was for you or not.
Yeah.
I mean, Adam, can you imagine Adam in a throuple?
No.
Adam
no, in short.
Adam barely has time to speak to me, let alone speak to another woman. He's got 2 daughters.
Right. And then, I said to Ollie, let's be really blunt here. Once the blowjobs are over, you've then got 2 women nagging at you, asking you to do things, asking for favours, saying, why don't you spend more time with me? Why don't you watch this on Netflix?
Yeah.
Who wants that?
Yeah.
No man wants that.
No.
The whole concept of it, I think, is much better than the reality.
100%. But if you were going to do a throuple, what would your choice be? With another woman or with another man? I think mine would be with another man.
Yeah, but really?
2 men.
You've got the bandwidth?
2 men.
For Adam and another? I don't have the bandwidth.
2 men. Have to pick up their pants twice. What's our second dilemma?
Hi, it's It's from a lady. She says, hi. For the last couple of years, my sister-in-law has ignored my child's birthday.
Okay.
Ouch.
I don't think that's an ouch.
Really?
No.
The auntie?
Yeah. It's her sister-in-law. Anyway, let's see the rest of the question before we unpick it.
Last year, her and her toddler were invited to his birthday party. She never replied, she never turned up, and she never said why. 7 weeks later, a birthday present appeared in the post. This year, she didn't come to his party again, and even though we've seen her since, she said she forgot his present and would get it to him soon. We're still waiting 3 weeks later, and even my son has commented on it. She is my husband's little sister and has always been quite spoilt and selfish, and the family don't help because they indulge her behaviour even though they are much tougher on my husband.
I think there's the problem.
I would love to tell her how thoughtless I think she is, but it's a family where people don't talk about their feelings and it will probably cause more issues, but I find it really hard to let go of. It makes me feel really negative. This is the icing on the cake after years of silent treatment and rude behaviour from her, and I'm fed up with it and I'm fed up with her. Ooh. Ooh. Well, it runs deep. It's about much more than her son's birthday party, isn't it?
This is a classic case of you've got to manage your own expectations because you can't change people. You just can't. And they behave how they behave. And guess what? There's a whole book on it called Let Them.
That was exactly what came into my mind when I read that question.
Let them.
Let her behave like a spoilt, rude little shit.
Yeah.
Let her. You don't have to behave like that. You can always behave politely, nicely, turn up to things, bring presents, be a great sister-in-law. I guess she's just not that into you. Sorry.
Or she's just not that way inclined. And I have learnt this so many times over the years. And I used to take things so personally when someone behaved in a way that I didn't feel was correct. And I would get myself so torn up and so in knots about it. And the only person who was sitting there completely stressed and upset was me.
Yeah.
And guess what? It didn't serve me.
Yeah.
So I have learnt over the years to let this stuff go. How people behave is up to them.
You are not going to change it by being cross and angry and hurt and exasperated by it.
That's not going to change anything. What would change it is having a very open, authentic, vulnerable conversation to say, I get very upset when you don't make the effort because it means so much to me.
But also, he's your nephew and it would really mean a lot to me if you had a relationship and turned up to his birthday parties because, we're family. And I really want you to be involved.
But her expectations, the sister-in-law's ideals and standards and ideals on it are obviously completely different to hers. And one doesn't make it wrong and one doesn't make it right. They just feel differently about these things.
Yeah. And also she's given the whole backstory about, it doesn't sound to me, although obviously it could be, it doesn't sound to me like this is personal. It sounds like this is just kind of how this woman walks through life.
Yeah.
So... And let her. She is the person that she is, and you being pissed off about it isn't going to change it.
It isn't going to change it. And I do really feel so strongly that she is going to keep upsetting you and she is going to keep disappointing you. And that is the only thing that is in your control is how you react and respond to it.
Agree.
And I would say try and respond in a way that is healthiest for you.
I totally agree. Wow, we've actually given proper advice today. Go us.
We actually have.
Wow, go us.
We actually have.
Also, I'm definitely recommending the mom jean from M&S. It's a great shape if you like a carrot shape jean.
But not their footwear. That is our episode. James is now chucking us out the studio.
James actually physically is throwing us out the room.
James has been sat there laughing at this episode.
Giggling,
he has been
giggling.
Yeah. And he's been quite nice to us today, so I don't know what's going on there.
He hasn't made me a coffee though.
You were offered a coffee.
Oh, you're right. I was. That was many hours ago.
Take that back.
I need it now. You're throwing me out now. I've got no time for coffee now, James. Maybe next week.
He also called us, what did he call us? Something about being like seasoned
established podcasters, I believe, was
those
the term.
were his words. Established podcasters.
Yeah,
he did.
Who know how to record. Then I tried to record an episode without a microphone in front of me. So that was brilliant.
Yeah,
brilliant.
That was really good podcasting there, Lauren. Yeah. Anyway, that is our episode. We're going to be back next week with another Unfiltered and another main show. Please keep listening. Thank you for being here. Come over to our subscription. It's lots of fun over there. And we will see you next week. Bye.
Hi, I'm Grace, host of Red Rum True Crime Podcast. These cases focus on the true victims of crime. Why not jump in at episode 114, the tragic murder of Jasmine and Aaliyah? The main suspect in this case gave an extremely bizarre interview to a number of press reporters whilst he was drunk and reportedly high. He speaks about an awful lot on camera and has this completely inappropriate laughing and chuckling response when talking about the case. He may even have thought he was gonna get away with the double murder he'd been accused of, but what he didn't know was that 2 undercover officers were on their way to catch him out, and he easily and willingly took the bait. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Red Rum True Crime. That's Red Rum, murder backwards, REDRUM True Crime.